friends, today I'm going to cover something that I guess technically I've never covered on here before, because I've talked a lot about my feelings on each episode of Helluva Boss when it would come out on my TikTok, but I never actually did, I believe, a full video on here of like a reaction to it, because I was into the show before I did reactions, but I figured with the new pilot coming out, I wanted to do a reaction video to it. Now, when it comes to Helluva Boss and Hazbin Hotel, I feel like a lot of people have a lot of very intense emotions about it. Either they really love it, or even more vocally, they really hate it. To a degree that confuses me a little bit. I'm not quite sure why this show, more than others, earns that extreme of a reaction. Either way, I can make some guesses, some cynical being like, well, the creator is a random young girl from the internet, so blah blah blah. But either way, here's my feelings on Hazbin and Helluva Boss. I saw the first episodes, the original ones that aired, that were like on YouTube a bajillion years ago, or several years ago, whatever it was, and I thought they were fun. I thought, oh, these are neat. I hope these become shows. And then they did, and I went, oh, these are fun. And then when new episodes come out, I'm happy. That's the end of my feelings. I don't have extreme, I'm not obsessed. I love them. I think they're really fun. Helluva being my favorite of the two. Though I really like the music from Hazbin. I think that Helluva Boss is probably my favorite. I really love Blitz, which I know might be controversial. I know some people really hate Blitz, but I really like the characters. I just kind of have always been a big fan of found family kind of stories, and while there definitely is some of that in Hazbin, it hasn't kind of fully gotten there yet. I think it's going to. But I've just always liked Helluva Boss more. With the exception of the original pilot. Not episode 1, not Murder Family, but the original pilot. Because let's be honest, it's bad. It's not good. It's not good. It was so, I remember being so disappointed when I found out that, like, oh, I had heard that, you know, Hazbin Hotel had been picked up, it was going to get an official release, but that we were going to get free episodes of Helluva Boss on YouTube, and I'm like, I don't care about this. I don't want more of this. But they did win me over in the first episode, so I'll give them points for that. But I think they kind of maybe didn't know what they were going to do with Helluva Boss. It started off as almost more of like an office-y kind of show. They didn't really care about the other stuff. I mean, I know that originally, Moxie and Blitz were going to be characters in Hazbin. You can see an imp that looks a lot like Blitz in the pilot of Hazbin in the background during like when Charlie is singing on TV. And I think they were just going to be, I don't know if they were going to be kind of reoccurring background characters, or they were just going to be in an episode, but I know they were going to be somewhere in the show as just like imp assassins. And they had their own show, and I just always thought that pilot just kind of didn't make sense with where the show ended up, and so maybe some people might be annoyed that they made a new version, but I think it makes complete sense. You really need to revamp it a little bit, just because, you know, the original didn't match what the show was. It's kind of like, I really love this podcast, right, called The Adventure Zone. It's a D&D Let's Play podcast, and eventually they turned it into a comic book. Great comic book series. Now, the adaptation, they changed a lot, because the show started off as kind of like a bunch of, it's three brothers and their dad playing. And they didn't quite know what they were doing, and they were kind of like, one character was really kind of, the guy decided he was going to make this character who was a total idiot, when in reality that character 100% is not an idiot. He sometimes kind of plays foolish to kind of be unnoticed, but that wasn't how he played it at the beginning. So when they did the comic book adaptation, they changed some stuff to kind of retroactively make it feel like a consistent story. I assume that's what they're going to be doing here. I know they did some changes in a later episode. I saw like a picture or something, just like some animation changes, and I saw some for like Lululand, because there's some shots in that episode where Stolas looks extremely off model. So yeah, that totally makes sense to do that. Anyway, all of that babble to say, I hope this is good, or at the very least, even if it's not good, I'm curious to see what they're gonna do to kind of make it more seamlessly lead into episode 1, as opposed to, you know, when you look at that pilot and then episode 1, it's like, wait, so suddenly Moxie is like nervous about killing kids and all this kind of weird, it just feels very disjointed. So yeah, let's go.
Alright, so we all know how things go, right? Humans on Earth do some pretty fucked up shit, and then they die and they end up in hell. And sinners all have an idea of what imps are, right? The little red guys with pitchforks torturing their souls for all eternity. Well, That's fucking outdated. Most of us are baristas and boring shit, and since we're born here, we kinda gotta serve whoever the fuck lands in our backyard, but some of us aim to be a little something more. A little something bigger, something cooler, something... yeah, cooler. So instead of selling them coffee, we're gonna sell them revenge!
What the fuck is this? Who are you?
The name's Blitz, the O is silent, and I'll be your assassin today.
I love that they're immediately establishing the hierarchy thing. Because yeah, it is definitely something that you can see throughout the series if you kind of look. It's sort of sprinkled in and then it becomes really obvious. I almost like, because it's such an important theme in the series, for them to just state it out right at the beginning so there's no guessing. That it's like, this is how it works. They are at the bottom. They are meant to serve others, but these ones don't, because they just don't, because they're neat. So I like that that's immediately established.
Just like that, we'll slip right back into hell, get paid, and never face any consequences for our actions ever. Got any questions? Yes, Millie.
Can I have a cool one-liner too? Like, it's Millie time!
Yes, you can.
Oh, yeah, no, that's a me thing. All right, perks of being boss.
You told me we were going to run this assassination business like professionals. You even put it in the company name. And on the billboard. And in the jingle.
When you want somebody
Hey, the jingle's back. Yay!
Oh, come on, baby dick. You really think sinners in hell actually care about professionalism?
Yes.
All our clients really want is to make sure the people they hate get what's coming to them.
How are we supposed to get to Earth to kill these guys? It's not exactly, amazing.
For your information, little miss, I have been reading. Yep, I managed to get my little red paws on this, okay? It's our ticket straight to the human world.
Sir, that's essential. Does that belong to a demon prince?
I love this. I love we never got this conversation to begin with. Like, Blitz had the book, and we obviously knew how we got the book. They showed it, but we never got to see the others find out, and I always wondered how Mox would react to it, because it's such a stupid move on Blitz's part. That's interesting. So it's the beginning of the company, but Millie and Mox are already together. I hope that they do flashbacks when we find out how they got together, because I just think their dynamic is so cute. I really would like. I'm hoping like season 2 was so much about Blitz and Stolas. Totally fair. I loved it, but I really hope that with the Millie situation of her, it looks like being pregnant, that they really can get into Millie and Moxie in season 2, maybe give Millie a little bit more to do, and just kind of get into who they are as characters more and their dynamic together. Because anytime you just see little things with them, they have a really sweet kind of relationship, and I'd like to see more of it. We saw, of course, when they were holding hands, Blitz immediately clocking it. This is back to a Blitz that's weirdly obsessed with their relationship. You sad man. But yeah, no, I really like that this is. Oh man, this is great. This is perfectly doing what a pilot should and setting up so much stuff.
Jeez, for the love of Satan, I can't believe you dicked down a member of the demon royalty. Ew.
Ah! No, whoa, what did I tell you about using that kind of language around Luna? She is just a child!
She's 22.
Well, she's my child!
Adopted. Let's get your hands off me.
Did we ever get her age before? I don't know why I thought she was younger. I thought she was like 19 or something. She was like about to age out of the system when, I don't know if time works on the show. I can't remember. But alright, 22, fair enough. I love Blitz just always like, not just loving Luna, but like really wanting to super dad her. I don't know what possessed him to want to get a daughter. I hope we saw from Luna's point of view getting adopted by Blitz. I would love to also learn more about what made Blitz want to do that. If it was just like, he wanted a hellhound because he thought it would make him more respectable or something, and then decided that he wanted to be more like a dad, or what caused that choice. I really want to know.
Everyone, new rule, guys. We only use appropriate language in this office from now on, alright? I don't want to hear no swears, no filth, no fucking potty mouth of any kind. Do you understand?
I'm not a fucking kid, asshole.
Oh, hey, bleepy! Did you now see what you've done? She learned that from you.
Sir, the F word is literally half of your vocabulary.
Oh, fuck you little virgin chode.
Hey, he ain't no virgin. I should know.
Millie,
Oh.
this is the workplace.
Oh.
So,
Hey, Stolas. How are things?
You took something from me, Blitzy. Something very important and very powerful. Something I would stop at nothing to get back.
Isn't your place like massive? I mean, couldn't it be in your 10th or 11th library?
You don't think I know what you're doing? I see right through you, Blitzy. You took my grimoire so you'd have an excuse to come see me again and ravish me like you did the other night.
Oh, goodness.
I guess you got me.
Come to my palace right now and claim me. Make my body yours. My bird. Get inside me. Go down.
I love that they kept in the stupid bleep bit. It's such a weird thing to have like a totally different view of that scene, knowing what, from Stolas' point of view, just happened. Of this guy coming back into his life who was his first friend, and the situation just happened where he's like, he's just had his first positive sexual experience ever. Positive for him anyway, so yeah. Interesting.
Oh, we need to really make a name for ourselves here.
Without drawing attention.
If you're that worried about witnesses, I know how we can get it done.
Oh, they're trying to kill him! Oh god, yes.
Oh, that was great. Right up until the catchphrase. I said no catchphrases. Mox, back me up.
For the record, it's Millie time is literally perfect. No, sweetie. But we can't just kill everyone. What about innocents? What about the kids?
Oh, there.
This is making so much more sense leading into Murder Family, as opposed to the original pilot where they like randomly shoot a kid on accident and it's the right person, blah blah. This makes a lot more sense going into that episode.
You barely need any pressure for their next.
Silly! We aren't killing kids, right?
Kill them all!
No! No!
Let's kill.
I was like getting back into the Millie Blitz kind of besties thing, which isn't really pointed out a lot, but it always makes me happy when I see it. Of that just being the two biggest chaos gremlins that Moxie kind of has to keep contained.
Satan fucking damn it. I'm trying to plan a hit here. This better be good! Oh,
Hello, Blitzy.
hey, Stolas, what are you doing here?
You said you were busy at work, so I decided to make work a little more fun.
Wow, okay.
Oh, no!
Not how I thought my day was gonna go.
Wait. Hang on.
Look,
You have the ticket, and then instead of, it used to be that poster of him and his sister, the twin Zach, but now it's just Blitzo. Immediately putting out the fire kind of roughed me a little bit, but oh heavens. Now this, okay, the only thing I heard about this episode was people kept mentioning and were really upset with a Stolas thing. I didn't know what it was, saying that Stolas was acting like really out of character and like kind of predatory. I will have to assume this is it, coming to his office. I'll watch the scene before I share my feelings, but we'll see.
okay, not how I thought my day was gonna go. Look, Your Majesty, there are other people here, co-workers, you know, and I don't want to make a scene, okay?
You didn't mind making a scene the last time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, got that book, got this fucking heavy book. I'm climbing up the railing and I'm losing my balance.
Sorry, I fucked your husband.
Oh, this version is only
Not
wearing his
still
jacket.
mad about that,
Jesus.
is she? Extremely.
Eesh. Oof. I'm so sorry about that.
How about you pump me full of sorry right on this desk?
Oh, I just cleaned that. All right, you know what? Fine, you win. Clothes off. Let's go. Holes out. Let's get this done in 5 seconds. Take me in, boy.
Interesting hearing him say sorry like that. Well, I have a lot of opinions about Blitz and Stolas' relationship. I always have. I feel like a lot of people wanted to see... I don't engage much with the fandom, but I definitely saw people were very, very vocal, mostly against Blitz, less kind of thinking Stolas was a poor little sweetie bird boy. It was a toxic relationship. It seems better now, and we applaud. But it was because of both of them. They both were bad. I think that Stolas kind of played this, he was willfully naive a lot of times to what his power dynamic was in the situation of you know, I think that when he was alone, he would see Blitz as just anybody, though he did, do things like put cigarettes out on his horns or call him an impish little plaything, which I don't love. But in general, he just seemed to kind of ignore that there was this obvious power dynamic, whereas obviously Blitz is very much always aware of it. I think that it's hard because the way that they met is extremely different from both their point of views. Blitz was sold into hanging out with this guy as a kid. He was sold into being someone's friend. And Stolas suddenly got a friend for an afternoon, not knowing about everything else. So suddenly, for Blitz, as he's going on a limb to finally get some power in his own life, and did something not good by going and kind of manipulating this guy, trying to steal it from him. A different kind of not good. Stolas is extremely unhappy, and for the first time in his life, sees that maybe he can make a choice of his own, and the choice is Blitz. They both have very different point of views. They both do toxic things in the situation. Him showing up here, that's the thing, is what we're seeing here is less pre the series Blitz and Stolas and more post. I can't remember what the episode title was called. What was it? Episode 1, episode 2 of season 2. Post that scene in the flashback of them together for the first time that we saw in that episode. That's what we're seeing. And yes, that's the same version, but it's not because of what we know and how the writers are writing them. They're obviously writing them more with that knowledge in mind. So as much as I get why people would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he did that. I can, and I don't know why it's so unbelievable that he would. I don't quite know why that was a huge surprise for people, but I mean, I guess if it offends you, it offends you. It is what it is. But I think that people who pretend like Stolas is innocent, I think just really like Stolas and don't want to think anything bad about him. And when I brought that up, people tend to, I've had people be very mad because they think I'm blaming everything on Stolas, and I'm not. It's no one's great here. But then they get better together, and that's nice. And we've seen Blitz change a lot, and I think we've seen Stolas change some, and we're going to see him change a lot as well, since the whole, him losing everything. I don't even know what I'm making sense anymore. I don't find that scene to be that crazy of an out of character of Stolas at this moment in time. And it's also, this is the version of him that's about to pitch this idea in the next episode of hey, what about the thing with the book? The all right, once a month, blah, blah, blah. The deal's about to be set up, the full moon deal. So, yeah, he's a guy who just announced he's going to divorce his wife, just felt love and probably gratification for the first time in a long time, if not ever. Yeah, he's acting a little crazy. And doing things that, a normal person wouldn't. It's hell. So I don't know. Anyway, that's my feelings on that. I don't think that was that. I thought it was going to be something way, way worse. That's not insane to me.
I best be getting back before the servants
You are
worry.
so much bigger than this
I'll
desk.
just be taking my grimoire and...
Or, how about this? You could let me hold on to it for a little while. Please? There's this one spell I have been wanting to try. Did I not just plow you on company time?
Oh, I suppose as long as you have it, we'll be sure to see each other again. Now, won't we?
Yes, I guess we will.
Well then, alone it is. Until next time, my darling Blitzy.
Yeah, until next time.
It's people are just now suddenly realizing that Blitz was kind of uncomfortable. He was kind of uncomfortable several times. I don't know why suddenly now it's... Anyway. Okay, I'm gonna be done. I promise this is me done talking about the situation, I swear. I have a lot of opinions and no one to share them with.
If I may, sir, I think I have the perfect plan.
In position.
Taking out the lights.
Execute. It's professional, it's efficient, it's
Boring!
That was such... Okay, this whole episode of showing those 3 versions of a hit is such a great way of introducing and showing exactly who those characters are in their style of Blitz is kind of theatrical and very much like, you know, just having a little speech and things like that, and coming out and just making a big entrance and killing everybody. Millie's is a total bloodbath, and Moxie's is very precise and everything. Everyone using, you know, weapons, long-range weapons and things like that. It shows very clearly how all of them, you know, approach a problem, and it's such a great introduction to all those characters.
When you want somebody coming, you don't want to wait till look on the enemy.
You get a hard rocker? Ooh, that's a cool poster. Oh wait. We just killed Vivian? That's so funny. That's hilarious. The one time that Brandon didn't die. That was obviously, those two characters are meant to be Vivzy Pop and Brandon Rogers, the other the creator and other writer and voice of Blitz. Where like they killed him in the Hollywood episode of the show, and then he also killed himself in an episode of what series was it? It wasn't the Bryce, was it Blame? No, it was Stuff and Sam. He made himself a character in one of his series and then killed himself. So for once, Brandon gets to live through a scene. Good job, bud. I get to meet Brandon Rogers. That was so nice. I like my buddies. I have a friend who is an artist and will do cons all the time, like selling art, and does a lot of Helluva and hazbin art, along with a bunch of other stuff. And at one local convention, their husband was busy, so I was their kind of assistant for the day. Just basically there to make sure, like, hey, go eat food. Hey, go drink water. I'll take care of the booth. And since Brandon Rogers was there, I decided, you know, why not? I'll go get an autograph. It's the only person from the cast I've met. And he was, like, the nicest guy. There was a lot of very intense fans, and it was early in the morning, and they were a lot. But he was, like, really sweet to all of them. I was really coming up to talk about, like, I was excited to meet him and stuff, and I said I just started watching his stuff, like, stuff he makes himself on his channel, and just enjoying the heck out of it. But also, at the time, Ghostfuckers had been announced, but hadn't come out yet. And in that, it's the first one that he wrote, episode that he wrote, and John Waters is in it, who I know is, like, one of his, if not his favorite director, and one of my favorite directors. So I was mostly just asking what it was like to work with John Waters, and he was, like, so excited to talk about it. It was very sweet. So we just kind of chatted mostly about not the show or him, but about a director we both like. But he was very, very, very nice. That was really cool. I always like it when I meet people and they're not assholes, and he was very much not an asshole. That's great. That was a really great, it established everything we need to establish. It sets up the next episode so well. It sets up the arc that these characters are going to be going on for the next 2 seasons. That's awesome. Did a much better job than the original pilot, which of course it did. They didn't quite know what they were doing at the time, I'm sure. They had a concept of a show, but they didn't have a show yet. So obviously things are going to change, and it's nice that they got to go back and kind of reestablish with this. So yay! We love this! Huzzah! Good job. It just makes me want to rewatch Helluva Boss, but I'm not going to. I'm planning on doing a rewatch of Hazbin before the season starts. I think I will be doing a reaction series to season 2 of Hazbin, even if it's just watched by me, because I'm really psyched, especially just knowing that I'm a huge Christian Borle fan. He's one of my favorite theater actors, and that Fox is going to be such a major, seems like such a major factor in the season. I'm just psyched for more Christian Borle. It's really, really what I'm interested in. That's my main joy coming up. Anyway, that's all. It's just a little thing for me, and I appreciate y'all joining me. Thanks so much, guys. Bye, everybody.